I have played a lot of fighting games. Last time I made this kind of video, I said I was still a newbie and honestly learning how to play slowly but surely. And I still need to learn a lot and practice a lot. I wouldn't consider myself a newbie anymore. I would probably consider myself decent, maybe good at best. But compared to my video I made 3 years ago, I would say I am better. And since Theme Fighting Game Fest is up as of uploading this video, I thought I would share some of the fighting games that I am playing, new ones I dived into, and even the ones I tried to get into. So suit up, wear your boxing gloves, and charge your meter, cause today we are talking about fighting games you should consider.
That is bullshit crazy, still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new word. I'll tell you, soon you will know. We already know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the game.
So this video is gonna be a bit different from last one. Last time I talked about my progress in learning to get into fighting games. And while this time I will also talk about it here and there, I also want to talk about, outside that, the techniques like rock, paper, scissors, the game's current state, the good, the bad, and the ugly side of said game. Also keep in mind that I'm not amazing at these games. Like I said, I am good at best. So I won't be able to tell if the game is actually good or not in terms of gameplay, or whether the characters are balanced or whatever. So take this as someone who absolutely loves fighting games, but not someone who is professional at it. With that said, let's start off with a game which people would probably think of when you say a fighting game.
Street Fighter 6.
From what I have seen, there's 4 types of fighting games that I box them in. Tactical, which is slow but precise. Fast-paced, where the game is, well, fast. Usually we see this in anime-like games. 3D, so games like Tekken. Platformer, so games like Smash Bros. Ult and Rivals of Aether. Street Fighter 6 is what I would consider a tactical fighting game. It's slow and the combos you need to do needs to be inputted precisely. Out of all the games I will talk about today, this one is the hardest for me when it comes to learning combos, not because I don't know how to do said combos, but because doing them requires a very strict timing. Heck, when I was practicing combos in training mode, I just couldn't understand what connects and what doesn't. Doing with combo trials help, but not as much as the other games tends to do for me. So far, I have 2 characters that I've been getting into, Cammy and Kimberly, the latter being my main. There's no particular reason why I choose them, it just fits my playstyle. And also Kimberly is just a vibe I can, well, vibe with. I really like how she's a ninja that use can sprays to go around and attack. Really fits the whole Street Fighter hip-hop style they were going with. I should also mention I really like the World Tour mode. Making your own character and making it a fighter is one thing. Going around the city and fighting anyone plus meeting official fighters and its own story mode, I dig it. There's other things too like mini games and costume purchases, but honestly, it's one of the best fighting game story mode I have ever played. There's not really much to say here as I am not proficient with this game. So the world tour is actually amazing and the fighting feels, well, fluid, but I am more of a fast-paced fighter than tactical, as we will talk more about it later in the video. But from what I have seen, this game is perfectly fine. Yes, controversies in fighting games. It's unfortunately more common than we like it to be. I already hate that it has battle passes. Probably should have talked about it in my pet peeve video. But this is the worst type ones I have seen. Oh, congrats! You leveled up your battle pass. But oh, unfortunately, there's no reward for you for level 5. But if you pay the premium version, you get more. But it's limited time. Credit where credit is due. As of recording this video, the battle pass is only 5 USD. And if you do all of them, you will get all your fighter coins back, which is 250, which you can use that to buy the next fighter pass when it comes out. So you're essentially recycling your $5 for the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. But only if you reach level 60 each and every time. And let me tell you, that is so annoying. Because psychologically speaking, you're pressured to keep on playing the game even if you don't have time because the battle pass is limited. So you have to keep on playing in order to make sure you don't lose your resources plus $5. Otherwise, it's just gone. Woof, vanished, badam. And honestly speaking, that is disgusting. What if you need to go to an event? What if you have plans for days outside? What if you're too busy or just not in a mood for gaming? But that battle pass lingers back into your mind, and I despise it because it's just an excuse for making the active players more active forcefully. And it just steals your time when you just want to do something else for a change. And then there's the Spy X family. Long story short, we had an amazing animation. Well, Chun-Li was fighting Yul to promote Spy X Family movie and the crossover with Capcom's Street Fighter 6. And when we saw this, we genuinely thought we would get Yul as a playable character because they promoted it as if we will see in-game fight of these two. And I was very excited for it as well, as I am a genuine Spy X Family fan. So when the day finally came that we could see the trailer and we saw the... Something's not right, but you know what? Maybe I'm just... You had one job, Capcom! You know the worst part about this? This is a skin for your customized character. So it's not even a skin for Juri, but a customized character who just so happened to have movesets for Juri. You know, when Street Fighter 6 announced that character creation was about to be a thing, people memed the living daylight out of it when it came out, and before then making random shape characters. Now we can truly say that these character creations is a joke. Needless to say, fans were really pissed about this. And just to add salt to the wound, Capcom outright came out and said that modding is the same as using cheat softwares. Which, one, they just enforced it because one guy in a tournament accidentally had a birthday suit Chun-Li mod, which, yeah, that guy should have known better to not forget something vital as that. But to outright to say it's cheating? It's like saying in a cooking contest, Gordon Ramsay is not allowed to wear red t-shirt because apparently it will make his food more tasty and therefore it's cheating. Like, there's no correlation behind them. And two, if you don't want people to mod your game, then give us something more. You only given us 2 color palettes in the beginning and no way to earn extras in-game. even though you have in-game currencies, which is very, very, very limited, aka useless. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 is not my game, both as a fighting style and all the stupid execution they have done. It sucks because I genuinely really want to get into the game, but when they try to pull these dumb stunts, why even bother? Before I continue, I should probably explain the rock, paper, scissors mechanic. This will help you with the next games moving forward. To keep it simple, it's attack, defense, and grab. Attack beats grab. Grab beats defense. Defense beats attack. There are some exceptions like grab beating attack because the grab was faster than the attack in frames and everything. But for now, this is the principle you should know. So if two people play the same input, in theory it will result in neutral. Attack with attack, both get hurt or cancel each other out. Defense and defense, nothing happens. And finally, grab and grab pushes each other away from, well, each other, aka reverse. Unless you play stupid Zangief who grab commands you and attacking him still punishes you, so you need to jump to... Yeah, I don't like Zangief. I went a bit off track here, but I needed to explain this so that you could understand what I'm going to be talking about in the next game we're going to be talking about, which is currently one of my go-to fighting games.
Guilty Gear Strive.
Funny enough, I only used 2 mods in this game, Bridget's hood off and her ponytail, as I think she looks better like this. Like and subscribe if you agree. I always wanted to get into Guilty Gear, hence why I started with XRD. And while I didn't get Strive for a while, I eventually did when Bridget was finally out. But I didn't know who she was. In fact, I don't know any Guilty Gear characters. I just started coincidentally when she was finally out. And also the dolphin meme. Surprisingly, haven't fought many Mei fighters either. And despite all that, Bridget became my main. Which is strange because she is and isn't my fighting style. In my last video, I mentioned I like playing characters that are fast and push the pressure on my foes. Turns out I hit the nail with one of the type, Rush Down. As the name suggests, they rush you down and keep pressuring you until you crack. There's also other types as well. Jonas are long-range fighters, making sure that you can't get close to them while still doing massive damage. People don't like them, but they need to do a lot of calculations and a lot of traps to make sure they are far away from you. Grapplers, which I absolutely hate, as name suggests, does massive damage with grab commands. And you can't reverse them because technically it is considered an attack. And I freaking hate that stupid Zangief has that. You know what? Screw you too, Pokegame. Nobody loves you. And getting off topic here. Powerhouse, slow but heavy hitters. Some usually can tank one attack before executing their own, aka super armor, but that's character to character's basis. And finally, set place. Basically, setting traps and or items to help you control the field less than a genre, but with more mobility. This is where things get interesting because, well, depending who you ask, Bridget is a rush down set play character. I say depending because she also has a very long range yo-yo attack to keep her distance as well. Basically, you need to knock your opponent down to give you enough time to do a set play, aka throw one of your yo-yo, which can do damage immediately or do damage when it's coming back to your hand as a boomerang. And or you can also use it while it's on standby as an anchor to make yourself a yo-yo, hit your enemies or baiting them by cancelling mid-travel and doing something else. Are you confused? Because I was in the beginning as well. All you need to know is that she needs to set her second yo-yo in order for her to have more options when rushing down opponents. But she also has long-range attack to keep her distance. Set play isn't my type of gameplay, quite the opposite. Where to put the trap, where to do this, where to do that. I get overwhelmed when I think about it. And each frame in fighting games could make or die your round, your set, your game. But Bridget just works for me. She just has sort of yo-yo straight or diagonal. And do you want to yo-yo towards them now, or do you want to bait them to cancel in the middle or not? Do you want to hit them now, or wait and boomerang so that you can hit them backwards so that they panic a bit? Or it just works because if you mess around her commands, her skills and everything for 10-20 minutes, you understand that her set play is to keep more pressure to enemies because they don't have idea what you're planning to do next. And that is cool. Plus, I genuinely like her yo-yo skill. I mean, look at it. That's a cool doggy walk. The game itself is fun. The latest DLCs can be a hit or miss for people. For example, Slayer being an absolute powerhouse and can kill you in few hits. And also my second main. Hey, can you blame me? I'm just following his dandyism.
You can make a religion out of this.
That. But the characters are fun. I think some characters are maybe broken or overpowered, but I'm not professional enough to tell you if it is or not. And I prefer some to cease. Potemkin. But as someone who loves fighting game, I think this is really, really fun. The 3D models in 2D fighting style and keyframing that it's like anime, the stage break when you're pressuring them to the corner, the music, and the characters are just amazing. I do have some complaints, like how most of the server room can be, well, dead. Rank system is not great. I don't even know how exactly it works. You just reach to the top and your ranking may go lower floor, but you can still play in the upper floor maybe? I have no idea. The controls can be a bit stiff. We'll get back to that. And also, Jam is still not a playable character in Guilty Gear Strive. Don't worry, Jam. One day you're gonna be rich. Oh, and something about Guilty Gear Strive invite, I guess. But overall, I love this game. I love how you can use all your power meter because if you don't use them, you will lose them all in the next round. I love the characters' personalities and the lore behind them. I love the music. I mean, the music! Just listen to it!
That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new
I love this game. And I probably will be sticking with it for quite some time. Right, command inputs. We should probably talk about that. Guilty Gear command input is pretty strict, at least more than other games I have played. Not to mention, if you want to use your ults, you have to do half quarter circle with your movement stick plus attack. And trust me, you need to be exact with your controls. And let me tell you, doing with a controller isn't easy. So I took this opportunity to learn new controllers. Not because it was gonna make me a better fighter or anything. I really wanted to try arcade sticks, and I really wanted to see which controllers I would prefer to play when it comes to fighting genres. Like I said before, I used to use controller. It was universal, it was handy, it was fine. I liked it. I also did try to tap into keyboards and such, but unfortunately the keyboard had so many buttons and most of them would be dead when you're playing fighting games. And the way I pressed and tapped, it felt off, so this was scrapped. So I bought an arcade stick, specifically 8-bit 2 arcade stick, which costed me a lot because shipping to Nepal is pain. And it also took 1 month to ship here. A side note, when I bought this controller, I actually had 4 gates installed in the analog stick. For those who don't know, the gates are basically used in analog stick to see how you want to control the flow of your controls basically. So 4 gates would actually make your controls a bit stiff, at least in my experience. But it also helps to do, say, corner to corner command inputs a lot easier. For example, Street Fighter 6, Gals, Sonic Boom. But I wanted to get 6 gates. 6 gates is basically makes it more easier to control. I actually have it one installed here, and I just thought it would take me 1 month to get this so that I could have better movement. It took me 3 freaking months just to get this! Sipping stuff in Nepal is just so annoying. Anywho, it took a while to get into it, but when I did, I felt a lot more ease using this than the controller. It didn't hurt my thumb when moving around. It didn't feel like my hand being as stressed. And having a controller in your lap feels comfortable than having them in the air, at least for me. So, did it help with Guilty Gear Strive's strict command inputs? Kind of. I think with the controller it was a problem when I did it fully, but it just didn't register. This arcade stick, I feel like it was more of a human error now. I think I got the command say 6 out of 10 times compared to the controller, which was like 2-3 out of 10 times. And miss inputs can make or break your game. But if I practice hard enough, I should lower the failure more and more until I just don't make them. There is one more controller I wanted to try, which is the level-less controller. I wanted to try this as it's the new controller that even pros are using nowadays. But truth be told, I don't think it will make me, a guy who just likes playing fighting games, any better. I can see why people wanted this banned in the tournament now. I am not joking when I said this. My miss inputs was once every 20. That is a 95% accuracy. And as of writing this script, I only had this controller for 1 week. I hate to say this because it might give people the wrong idea, saying tools can make me better at this game or whatever, but this level-less controller, it's not only easier and comfortable to use for me, but it also makes me a better fighter. This came as a shock because, well, one, this is essentially a keyboard with fewer buttons, and 2, before I even tried this controller, I thought pro gamers were just getting advantage via 1 to 2%, as I heard the rumors and talks about it. Now that I try this, I'm starting to think it's more 5 to 10%, which is massive when it comes to that level of gaming. I can think only 2 reasons why I actually got into it. One, I tried arcade stick before, and arcade stick already has these button layouts. Other than the up, down, left, right button, these are already there, so I know where to put my hands, what feels right, what feels doesn't, etc, etc. And 2, while I did say it's like keyboard, it's fewer. There's fewer buttons than in keyboard, and these buttons are essentially bigger than in keyboard. So having fewer buttons, making sure that there is no miss inputs or null inputs because of your finger misplacement or anything like that, it makes it easier and more fun to try it. I still have some hiccups which supports my theory per se. The lever S has the down and up move button inverse. This is to make sure that the command inputs are faster and easier, and making the jump as the thumb button sounds very logical. I sometimes do get confused when it's between like navigating menus or walking around in Street Fighter, but when it comes to fighting, I have that knowledge deadlocked. I think leveless is going to be my main go-to controller. Unless something changes, doing input in this controller feels natural, rewarding, and accurate. Of course, I ain't better as a professional now, but at the same time, I can do a lot of things easier than I expected to do, with little to no effort now. And that's scary. Alright, with that in mind, let's move aside with traditional for a bit, and let's talk about the next game, which is more platforming. MultiVersus is basically the next Smash wannabe. Jokes aside, it seems like every company and a half is trying to do a massive crossover with platform fighting games, which I am more than happy to see, and honestly playing the game, I can see every character's movements being carefully picked. Heck, some of my friends play MultiVersus religiously and thinks it's a good game. I don't know how else to say this, so I'll just say it bluntly. I don't think platform fighters are for me. To me, platform fighting feels floaty and yet heavy. All the attacks I try to do feels like it takes forever to land a hit, and at the same time, when characters dodges and jumps, they feel a lot floaty. Like as if gravity just dulled down by 10-20%. This is probably because I like traditional fighting game speed. Well, even in Street Fighter, while slow is, the attack is still decent to fast hitters. Platformers, it feels slower than Street Fighter, at least to me. There are 3-4S games that are exception to this. Smash Ultimate, Rivals of Aether, and maybe Brawlhalla and Smash Brawl. Smash Ultimate is the cream of the crop, the best I have ever played when it comes to fighter platformer. And it makes sense. So many amazing characters to pick from, so many stages, and the game is pretty fast. Rivals of Aether, well, Rivals Smash Ult. While not many characters, they have their unique plays, fast-paced, and while not official, online workshop is an absolute blast to experience with. Smash Brothers Brawl and Brawlhalla is probably my nostalgia talking here. I actually had fun playing Subspace Emissary, and Brawlhalla, I had a friend who I played endlessly with. Unfortunately, they moved on from the game, and I really didn't have any fun playing online alone, so I also left Brawlhalla. But even that, when I tried to play Smash Ultimate competitively, it just felt off. And when I started playing the game with items on and everything, the game felt so much fun. To the point I could barely see myself playing with no items again. It's just, I can't see myself getting into platform fighting games because either it's too slow and floaty, or because it feels off without any spices like items. It sucks too because, well, all my friends play platformers only. I mean, sure, I have some friends who also play traditional, but with those friends, we tend to prioritize other games than fighting ones. I hate to say it, it's a lose-lose situation for me. There are some exceptions though, like I joined those official game server via Discord and try to play with people, and I have made friends there as well. Or once in a blue moon, I actually have some friends outside those official servers that, play. But at the same time, I don't have anyone that I could just direct message and say, hey, let's fight. And in 10 minutes, we are actually fighting. And since I am an adult now, I don't think I'll ever will. Except maybe one game. If Guilty Gear Strive is my serious fighting game, and let's say Smash Ultimate is my go-to party game, Tekken would be considered my casual fighting game. I have a couple of friends who are also into Tekken, probably more serious than I am, but I honestly don't mind it because for me, I just love how we lose our head exploding, how a panda just hugs someone to death. Yes, you can play panda in Tekken. Yes, I mean panda in Tekken. Yes, you can also play a bear that is called Kuma in Tekken. Mind you, panda isn't that high in the tail list. It's probably like B or C, but honestly, I don't care. I can just throw a beach ball to their head and just have fun. Plus, panda is adorable, man. There's not much to talk about. Music is great, stages are cool, battle pass is a thing which sucks, but the customization in this game is amazing. You can tweak how you want your character to look like. Take not Street Fighter 6, and you can show your Johnny Bravo or Dante from Devil May Cry cosplays. And I love that you can play online with it, casual and or rank. There's not much to say because, like I said, I play Tekken more for casual and not serious. Yes, I have tried rank and everything, but I have the game more so to just mess around with my friends, not trying to improve at the game per se. And can you blame me? I mean, just look at the command inputs in this game. Yikes. So I have talked about a game I play competitive. I have talked about a game I play casual. I also talked about a game that my friends play that isn't my cup of tea. So what is left? How about a game I play because of a meme? If it makes you feel better, I main Saber in that game. Neko Arc is my second main, but still. Multi-Blood is an interesting one because I am not into Fate series. Heck, the only thing I know about it is the cooking anime I watched and the Giggles video. Okay, don't worry about it. So I, of all people, shouldn't really get into it per se. But the meme was so funny that I just had to try the game. Despite knowing Neko Arc is what we consider a joke character. Basically a character who are not supposed to be good. And honestly, I love this game. This fighting game has what I like to call an auto combo system. See, in other games, you need to connect each attacks more and more by pressing different attack and or command inputs. Here, it is also the same thing, but a lot easier. You can press one button and the combo just happens. This isn't broken because A, everyone has that option. B, these auto combos are usually the intro to your chain attacks. And C, you can break out of it by doing other command inputs in order to establish a longer and heavier chains. Essentially, this is a game where it is easy to learn, hard to master, and I love it. If someone wants to mess around like I do in Tekken 8, it doesn't feel like it's a burden because you're still doing combos and inputs, but if you want to get a bit more serious, the options to break out of that cell and go beyond is really rewarding as well. And I also love the whole customizing palette option you have for this game. So you can play your picked colors for ranks and casual in any way possible. Even the ugliest drip you can think of. Remember, mental fortitude is a battle of itself. Abuse it. There's just one problem with this game though. This game isn't as popular compared to others I have talked about. There are still active communities around this game, but not enough to, say, have variable players to fight in random casual and or ranked matches. Sometimes I fought people who were S+ ranks while I was still in a B rank or something like that. But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed playing this game, and I am glad I bought it, despite it being for me. If I don't want to play the main two fighting games I picked, I usually try to hop into Des or Tekken 8. Just remember this. There's a guy who is a top 8 player for this game who picks Neko Arc as his main character. Hi, Future Maxim here. I did try to recheck this if this information is correct or not. I could not find any information. Apparently, maybe I'm wrong. I know I heard it somewhere that there was a top 8 player that was Neko Arc main, but I just couldn't find it anywhere in the internet. Someone can fact check this for me. It would be appreciated. For now, I wish I could remove it, but it doesn't make sense with the next script line. So fact check me if I'm right or not. Continue. That man really just said bet and became the chaos himself. I salute you. With that said, there's one more game I want to talk about before ending this video, which is probably my go-to fighting game besides Guilty Gear Strive. But even saying that, I think this one is more than Guilty Gear Strive. And surprisingly, it's made by the same developers, Arc System.
Granblue Fantasy Versus. Rising.
Remember, Rising, not the previous version, Rising! I did talk a bit about it in my Reeling video, but this game introduced me to the Granblue Fantasy franchise. And as same with Reeling, I main Charlotta in this game. She is fast, to the point, and putting pressure on her enemies, aka rush down. Let's just get the elephant out of the room. Yes, this game has Battle Pass. And as much as I hate Battle Pass, this is probably the best one I like. The whole thing that you get the free items, but at the same time, if you buy the premium one, you get additional items as you level up. So instead of these normal battle passes that try to divide your free items by 2 or 3, this gives you all of them. And if you buy the premium, you get double of what you got. Actually 1.5 because the free version stops at level 30 and premium goes to level 60. That's a whole argument of itself, but essentially you get double the items if you want. With that said, it is also $5, and yes, Battle Pass is limited time, but it's 3 months for each Battle Pass. I still don't like the marketing ploy despite the whole generosity, so make what you will. What I do like is the ability to buy characters and/or costumes with in-game money. You can also buy it with IRL money per DLC purchase, of course, but if you grind points for quite some time, you can just do that instead. It is time versus money system here, and truthfully speaking, I don't know how grindy it is to earn points, as I really didn't calculate that until I found out about it. So you will have to be the judge of that. Exclusive mascots, aka partners, however, are DLC exclusives. You do have many that are unlocked, and if you buy the DLC characters, you do also unlock the partners for it. But keep in mind, if you want to buy, say, Princess Connect partners like I do, you will have to purchase it with IRL money. I also like the EXP level up for each characters. Well, nothing new. Unlocking new colors, weapons, and titles and more from playing said characters is rewarding and fun. And finally, the combat system. It's interesting. It has a mixture of auto combat system and skill points. It's tricky to explain, but pressing the same attack button 3 times can be autoed as triple attack, which can be changed to specials, and you can use that specials to change to normal or another skill points, rinse and repeat. There's 3 types of skills in this game. Normal skill, special skill which gives you more speed, damage and start of invisibility but the cooldown is longer, and finally ultimate skill, faster speed, more damage and a bit more start of invisibility, which costs you 50% of your super meter. The meter you get is decently fast, so using ultimate wouldn't hurt when situations calls for it. And you can still use the ultimate when the skill is in said cooldown because it's instead using your super meter. Also, you do lose all your meter once a round ends, so use them instead of saving them if need be. Otherwise, it will just go to waste. However, you can also save up for this round to use it for your ultimate attacks, aka Skybound Art, which uses 100% of your super meter, and Super Skybound Art, which uses 100% and you need to be under 30% of your max health during that round. There's a lot more I haven't talked about. Raging Strike, which is used to break defense and cost 1 of your 3 gems. Opposite of that is Brave Counter. When you're using it in defense, you reject your enemies and push them away, giving you a breather of sort. It also costs 1 gem as well. Do know that if you use it after someone Raging Strike successfully, you lose 2 gems, as breaking your defense also costs you 1 as well. And the less gems you have, the more damage you will take. So you have to play very crucial when to use them, as you only get 3 per round. Well, you do get 1 or 2 gems per Skybound or Super Skybound art, which also makes enemies lose the same amount as well, but the point still stands that you need to use your resources carefully. So how do you not be attacked with Raging Strike when on defense? Simple, you dodge. And that slowdown is so cool, because not only you wasted their gem, but now you can counter attack, dealing more damage to your foe. There's also the whole Raging Chain, which connects with your Raging Strike, which uses 25% of your meter so that you can combo. There's also the skill set. Well, if you use simple skills, you basically use less damage but longer cooldown. But there's also tactical. Well, if you use actual command inputs, you do more damage and you have the lower cooldown. That is amazing. There's also chain combo limit. Point is, there's a lot of variables and things that you could do that is so amazing in this game. And the rock, paper, scissor of this game is so polished and executed amazingly. I also like the exclamation mark that implies the "so don't tell" part. 1 being that it's under attack, 2 being that it's overhead, or 2 could also mean that it pierced your shield and did damage to you, but you will understand when the situation happens. It's these little things that I wish other games also implemented in their own way. And training room. As much as I haven't talked about it in other games, this has frame data. It shows who has the upper hand when you block or get hit. Minus being they are faster, plus being you are faster. I do have complaints though. Battle Pass is already mentioned, but the UI in this gameplay, it's not bad, but I really wish the skill points and the meter were bottom of the screen, as that's what I'm used to in other fighting games. It's just annoying to relearn UIs just for this game only. And well, there's so many AFK players in online casual. Lobby and rank mode are fine. I have gotten little to none in that modes. But casual mode is just so annoying when you just want to play a quick match, but instead you just get AFKers just grinding levels. But I get that it's annoying to grind AXPs just to unlock cosmetics, weapons and colors, tiles and such and whatever. But come on! I really hope Arco Side Games does something about this, because I have played with so many AFKs more times than people who actually play game in casual mode. But overall, I love this game, and I'm seeing this as my go-to compared to Guilty Gear Strive as of lately. It's funny because I don't think of myself as Arc System lawless or anything. I just happen to like 2 fighting games made by the same developers. But I need to get better. I'm not a pro. I need to get better, and I want to be a better fighter than I was yesterday. But 3 years ago, compared to that, I am definitely a better fighter than when I was back then. Fighting Game Fest is happening as of uploading this video. So if you want, please do try one, some or all the games I mentioned. And let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. And to those people who got pumped up by watching this video, I just have one question. Wanna fight?